Hello, I'm Greg Harrison with the USDA Market News Service here in St. Joe, Missouri with your National Feeder Cattle Summary this week. Calves once again dominate receipts this week, and we're looking at some calves will start in the northern plains. Trade very uneven this week in the northern plains, mostly $5 lower, but we're seeing a lot of wide price trends in the northern plains on calves, just a lot of it depending on what they weigh, from 400 to 450 pounds, 450 to 500 pounds, or 5 to 550 pounds. All these ranges, we're seeing a lot of price trends that can be 5 to 10 lower to $5 higher. But overall, most of it trading mostly about $5 lower. And then you look at calves in the southern plains and in the southeast, mainly trading a little bit more aggressive, trading fully steady to $5 higher with good demand on a lot of these stocker calves that are headed for wheat pastures. And you're looking at the yearling market this week. A lot of tight supplies of yearlings, but on a light test, trading mostly steady to firm on the yearling market. As we start the month of November, we're looking at all the attention focusing now squarely on the calf market, as when you look at most of the auctions throughout the trading area, trading mostly receipts are made up of calves. And looking back at Northern Plains, last couple of weeks, what we've seen in Northern Plains, some lower markets, but a lot of that, especially last week, due to a shortage of trucks, that's been very noticeable and pressuring the market. Many cattle in Northern Plains states have either been sold in the country on direct sales or contracted through video auctions, and they're being shipped at this time of the year. And these deals have a delivery date that's set a long time in advance, and consequently a lot of these trucks are committed to haul these cattle, and it's making it difficult for buyers at a lot of these auctions to get trucks to haul cattle. Because these calves, they need to get hauled to their destination and started on feed quickly, and to ensure optimal performances and reduce stress. So a lot of it has to do with health situation there. And a lot of these calves also this week offered were preconditioned calves, and a lot of them not preconditioned. And the demand on a lot of these calves, especially in Northern Plains, it kind of runs the full gamut from light to moderate to very good. Depends basically on three things: flesh conditions, preconditioned status, are the calves weaned, are they coming right off the cow, they had some type of health program behind them, and then overall quality of these calves. And looking at a lot of ample feed conditions due to late summer rains and mild weather has led a lot of these calves just perform very well and just have plenty of condition. Calf price trends hinge directly on the observation of the buyers at hand, but really it's all about how they strike the buyer's eye. As far as flesh condition goes, a hair coat, looking at just attitudes and mannerisms, it's just in search of calves that will perform and spend more time eating than walking the fence and bawling. So this time of year, feedlots and growing yards are full of new arrival of calves that are getting sick for the first time, or they're starting to break for the first time on their initial treatment of antibiotics that's starting to wear off. And you're looking at some calf prices in Phillips, South Dakota on Tuesday. They sold over 9,400 head of calves, and they sold some thin conditioned steer calves weighing 449 pounds. 138 head of them traded at $380 a pound. So you got some thin conditioned calves compared to fleshy calves. It does make quite a bit of a difference. And looking at the Corn Belt, looking at corn harvest this week, Corn Belt farmers really amped up harvest this week, increasing at 19% over last week. And on Tuesday of this week, USDA reported 65% of the corn harvested. And we're going into the end of this week. We've had some good weather, so we should be looking at probably well over 70% harvested come the first of the week. On Monday of this coming week, USDA will issue their crop report, and they're looking at the estimated average corn yield of 175.3 bushels per acre. These numbers just keep increasing with each report that comes out. And that old saying, big crop gets bigger, well, it's in full force this year, because it sure looks like, we're looking at numbers that could be bigger than that, but right this time, sure not looking at them to be less than that 175.3 bushels per acre. Looking at the fed cattle market, it's yet to take place this week as we do this video, but it looks like the market seems to be content to spend a lot of time in that mid 160 range, the upper 60s, 165, somewhere between 165 and 170. Questions that we're looking at is how much can this market break, or can it stay steady? And is there another rally left for the 2014 year? And just a lot of that just depends on the demand for the supply of cattle that's left. But looking back at the calf market, we still have very good demand for these calves. There's just a lot of differences in the calves that you see, whether it's quality or condition of the calves, whether they're long time weaned to whether they're fleshy coming right off the cow. So the market remains very good. demand remains very good. So we'll see how this plays out next week, and hope you all have a good week and be back with you. Take care.